Five.
Welcome to the Clark County Fire District 6 Board of Commissioners meeting. It is March 2nd, 2021, and I will call the meeting to order and ask for any additions to the agenda.
None here.
None here.
Thank you. We need to read and approve the minutes of the February 16th, 2021 regular meeting and board workshop.
Move for approval and post if necessary.
Second.
Moved in second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, gentlemen.
Commissioner Losbeck, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Did we add surplus 151 to new business?
Under new business. Okay.
The whole station or just the engine?
I'm sorry, apparatus, engine 151.
Just teasing.
Anything else? Hearing none. I don't show any correspondence.
Yeah, I didn't see any either.
Okay, citizen communication. This is the time during our meeting we set aside that any citizens of Fire District 6 with questions or comments can address the board. And obviously, if you have one of those and you're watching, you can go over to chat and you can chat a question or a comment to us. And Chief Schmidt will relay those to us as they come in. So anytime during the meeting that you have a question or comment, please let us know. Okay, committee reports. The only one that has any activity is the parade. And the parade, there's not going to be an actual parade this year, unfortunately. We're going to do some sort of a virtual parade and post it on Facebook. We're going to go to some of the schools and record the bands out on the football field or somewhere 6 feet apart, being safe, and then we're going to put something together. So that's what the parade is going to be this year. Consent agenda.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved in second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, Chief, your reports.
So the first report is the personnel action report. It's quite a long report tonight, but we have some significant anniversaries. The first one is former Assistant Chief David Taylor, who's now the Secretary of the Board, has been with the district 40 years as of January 1st. Bill Dunlap, as of March 1st, firefighter, has been with us 30 years. Battalion Chief Todd, Captain Talby, and firefighter Hollingsworth have 28 years. And Team Bensinger, Office Administrator has 21 years. Below that, you'll see the 11 graduates from the Firefighter Academy, what shift and position they're filling. Then we had 3 captain promotions as of March. So that's Rich Rennie, Jordan Scott, and Blake Bartak. We had a step increase for Brian Lagat from step 1 to step 4, and that was part of a lateral LOA agreement that the district entered into. And then we had 1 reversion of Scott Fire medic to firefighter.
Thank you.
You also have the COVID report in your packet there. We're starting to see it downward, so that's good news. And there's no facilities report today.
Okay. Anything else on the Chief's report? Hearing none, we're going to move on to old business. Clark County Fairgrounds Vaccination Clinic.
So this will be the completion of week 6 of the vaccination clinic. We originally agreed to 6 weeks participation for the minimum 2 EMTs at the clinic. The clinic asked if we would continue our services for 4 more weeks. We have entered into a contract to do that. And so far, for approximately 5 weeks, we've billed them for $15,000 and some change.
Very good. What's the next one? Educational incentive.
At the last board meeting, we discussed in depth the educational incentive that's outlined in the CBA and how to different degrees that hold. I met with the local and we have drafted an LOA to modify that article. Essentially, the modification would allow the chief to approve and they would no longer have to go in front of the board. So because there was so much discussion on the topic, I felt it was best to bring the LOA before the board for your consideration.
All right.
I think it's nice to have collaboration and bring it back this way. In the end, I think we're all better off for it.
Thank you for your work on that.
The board's okay relinquishing that to the chief is my question.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. But didn't I hear somewhere there, Chief, that this is not precedent setting? How does that play out? We talk to that, please.
Well, the LOA just strikes the language that says a similar degree would have to go before the board. It would change it to go before the chief. We did talk in depth, though, however, about how the whole process of education and obtaining those bachelor's degrees is what we really focus on. So it would still be the discretion of the chief to approve or deny, but I would look at the whole package and, I guess, appreciate the entire degree.
Okay. There's no further discussion. Go ahead.
I guess I would just say if this was to ever go awry with a future board or a future chief or whatever, then the board could take it up with the chief at that point. Is that still a viable option if the day came where this whole thing went the wrong direction?
We're changing the contract, Casey. It's going to be language in the contract, and to change it in a future date, it would have to be negotiated, I believe.
So essentially, the board could approve or deny a degree today, and it's board discretion. You're just given that discretion to the chief to approve or deny. So it's not saying that everything has to be approved or everything has to be denied. There are those 4 degrees in the CBA that are automatic approval. So I guess if you wanted to change the language, it would have to be negotiated, but the precedent we're setting is to give the chief discretion.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I was just thinking worst case scenario. You know, I mean, how do you bargain it backwards when we're not even? It's a gift going forwards. But it's just splitting hairs, I guess. Anyway, I'm fine with it. You know, going forward, I don't see it happen in my lifetime.
Well, and there always is the discussion of past practice. So I just want us all to understand that if I were to approve an English degree per se, it would be hard if another individual came in with the same degree and to not be approved. So there is some past practice that would be set with giving the chief discretion, but just the same as if you guys approved a degree outside of the contract, it would potentially set past practice.
Right.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the letter of agreement between the fire district and the IAFF Local 452 as it pertains to Exhibit C of the educational incentive language.
I'll second that.
So we moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Clark County Service Agreement.
This is an agreement that the district entered into with Clark County Health. This was brought up at the county chiefs meeting, so all departments, with the exception of Vancouver and Camas, because they enter into different agreements being the city, entered into agreement with Clark County Health. And essentially, if we have the personnel and capability, we will help staff mobile clinics that will go into the care facilities and other areas where people can't get amounts to get vaccinations.
Okay. My question, Chief, is, are our paramedics going to be able to administer vaccinations at this point, or are they just to observe people for their 15 minutes afterwards?
So Dr. Whitworth, the NP allowed EMTs and above to administer the COVID-19 vaccine. There's some training they have to do it. But yes, they will be able to administer.
Good. My second question is, we've been doing the fairgrounds for a while now. Have we had any trouble filling the slots, or are guys stepping up and taking that on for the community?
We have not had any trouble filling the slots, and before we committed to 4 weeks, we confirmed with the union that the appetite was still there for the work, and it seems to be. So it hasn't yet.
Good.
That's great.
So I think just to be, the secretary of the board can, whatever, I think just to be safe, we probably should go ahead and the board should approve this, the new contract with the county, just to be safe with the state auditor, because we're giving the chief authority to sign it.
Yes, if you're asking me, that's correct.
Yeah, so we need a motion to go into that agreement with the Clark County Health Department.
What would that motion sound like? I mean, we don't need to include Crosby, Stills, and Nash, do we, and Young?
No.
So I would support that we enter into a contractual agreement with the service agreement between Clark County and Fire District 6 for the COVID vaccination.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any other additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Anyway, whoever wrote that up has a sense of humor, and I liked it.
Board, just for clarification's sake, we did enter into a contract with Department of Health for the Clark County Vaccination Clinic.
Right.
That wasn't approved by the board. Does that need to be approved for the extension?
We probably should, just to make sure that the state auditor's okay with the contract in case it comes back. So, yeah, I think we probably should.
Okay, so that contract starting Sunday will be extended for 4 weeks with Department of Health.
Okay. State DOH. So I need another motion, please.
So another motion to initiate and extend the contract with DOH with Fire District 6 as pertains to the Clark County Fairgrounds vaccination site.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Thank you, gentlemen. Is there any other old business that I've missed? Okay, hearing none, new business. We're just going to start with the cadet program.
So I just wanted to inform the board, Cascadia Tech bring the cadets back on back to district facilities this week. With Governor Inslee's direction that we haven't left phase 2, we did not feel comfortable bringing the high school students into a first response agency. So I notified Cascadia Tech and also notified the parents and the students, and that letter that went out to them is in your packet. And just for the board information, Clarkford and Clark County Fire District 3 did agree to bring the cadets back to their fire facilities. So we were the odd person out. And so far, I've gotten no correspondence from parents or students.
Okay.
Are they going to get credit for the virtual training that they've already had, Chief?
Yes. So we're going to continue the virtual. That's not going to change. We just didn't feel like we could bring them into our facilities quite.
So will they receive the same credit as if they would have attended in person?
That's my understanding from Cascadia Tech. So they do the PE credit, but they have been assigned PE skills on their own. So they're still getting the same type of assignment.
We're not doing big harm.
No.
Or playing it safe is what you're doing.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to workshop topics.
So there's a couple more topics that staff thought would be good to bring forward in the platform. So we have one that's on the future of the maintenance division, just talking about looking at expansion of the shops, where we see the maintenance division going, and some of the opportunities that we have with that. So if the board's okay with that March 16th.
Okay.
It's fine with me.
Yeah, that'd be at 5:30, right?
I had 5 in the board packet, but
That should be fine, I think. So the secretary will have to post that.
and then the next one we wanted to do was we had 2 workshop topics, one being on the support services program and the other one on policy and changes. And we wanted to do policy as a workshop because we've gone through and reviewed all policies. Of them.
I have a request on that one, and I've talked to Commissioner Pfeiffer. I'm going to be out of the area. I have a place where I can go that I normally get cell service, but I'm not 100%. I'm going to be able to get cell service. I'm going to give it a try. And with that, I was going to ask Commissioner Pfeiffer to go ahead and chair the meeting on the 6th, whether I get in or not. In case I'm cutting out or whatever, that could just be easier for Chris to go ahead and run the meeting. And not knowing if I'm going to have phone service, would anybody have a problem with moving that workshop to the 20th of April when I'm going to be back in town?
Yeah, no problem at all. That seems real reasonable.
That's the workshop portion?
Yeah,
Yes.
the workshop would be moved to the next meeting.
Yeah, I got a problem with that one. But I'll make it work.
Well, we can move it to the first meeting in May.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a rush. Is there a rush on this, Chief? Or could we move it one more time?
No, we can move it to the first meeting in May. That would probably be good because we'll have an officer test about that same time, and I'm sure they'd appreciate us not changing the policies before that. And I will be able to report services and before May.
Okay.
That sounds like a win-win. I can't guarantee the 20th.
Okay. Sounds like both those things will work for everyone, so that's good. So we'll do next meeting. We'll do future of the maintenance division, and on the first meeting of April, we will do support service program and workshop on policy updates and changes. So I think we're set.
First
Is that
meeting-
May?
Yeah.
First in May, right?
Yeah. Yep. And so part of that is there any other topics that the board would like staff to address in the form of a workshop?
I don't have any right at this time.
No, we'll sit at 15-1 at some point.
So Chief Thor and I are working on 15-1 and meeting with WSRB, so I could probably have something for you in that May time period.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, if nothing else, we have surplus engine 151.
So in our apparatus replacement plan last time, we talked about engine 151, but I didn't actually ask the board if we could surplus that rig. So it is a 1996 Pure Saber. It has 1,000 miles on it and about 7,500 hours. It was scheduled to be replaced and surplus in 2011, but we hung on to it to keep it up at 151.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? I have discussion. There was a couple departments in Eastern Washington that had their fire stations and equipment destroyed by the wildfires. And you and I talked about reaching out to them and seeing if we could assist them in some way. Were you able to do that, Chief?
Yeah, so that was Malden Fire. They got an engine donated by Spokane County, but we did have some uniform items that they were in need of, and so they're supposed to be coming to pick them up this week.
Okay. And if you can find another department that needs it or whatever, it's up to your discretion at this point. So,
Okay.
thank you. With that, all in favor of declaring it surplus?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Any other new business? Roundtable, good of order.
I have one item for roundtable. As I mentioned in the personnel action report, Chief Taylor has served 40 years, and we have a 40-year pin to present him. So when I see him next, I will present that to you, Secretary Taylor. I think I called you Chief Taylor.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
That's nice.
And then we will be presenting Bill Dunlap's 30-year pin tomorrow.
Right.
Congratulations, everybody.
I have one item I'd like the board to think about. Now that we're in phase 2, the governor, in the outline of phase 2, we could go to live meetings. We would still need to broadcast them like we currently do, and I'm sure Chief Schmidt could figure that out. There are several things that we have to adhere to be able to do it. I would appreciate actually getting to get back to live meetings again. And I was thinking the first meeting of May, but I'm looking for some feedback from the board and possibly staff.
I'm good with it. That sounds good. We can make it happen. Be legal.
Yeah, I would be comfortable with a May 1st meeting of in person.
Chief, would that give you enough time to research it and make sure that we could make it legal?
Yes, that should give us plenty of time.
Okay. That'd be a good thing. That'd give us something to shoot for, and we'd actually have a workshop that night too, so that works out really well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just want to commend staff and the training captains, everybody involved. The recruit graduation was first class. Having the bits from their family members, I think, was very meaningful. And I know the other board members commented on it too, but it was first class. And
Yeah, it really was.
it's out there.
Yeah, I complimented the chief on her vision and where it all seemed to start and where we are now and where we seem to be headed. And congratulations all the way around us.
Thank you. And that ceremony was the work of Chief Schmidt and PIO Schmidtke, so they spent a lot of time getting that together.
Well, I think it was time really well spent. And I'd also like to thank the 3 training captains. I know our first recruit class using the tower and having 11 people involved in it was, quite a bit to bite off, and I think they just did a great job. So thank you to them too.
Yes, they did. I guess every time somebody from staff or the department met with the new recruits, we all commented that we were super excited to have them here and do an internal academy. They actually put that on the plaque that they presented to the district. They were super excited.
I've had citizens come up to me and go, "So how's the graduation?" And that took me back. And it's like they saw it on social media. Oh, that graduation, it was awesome. And it's like I forgot that other people see it. So,
Yeah.
It was quite a compliment to us.
Yeah, it was great.
Any other roundtable are good of order? Hearing none, we're going to authorize payment of current bills, pre-authorization transmittal, authorize monthly commissioner compensation.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, gentlemen, and have a good night. Be safe and healthy, and the meeting's adjourned.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
And we are clear.